All right, so let me go ahead and explain what's going on for chat. We are going to be going through every single Valorant map. This website right here will give us a random map, and then we have to discuss where we think that map ranks amongst the rest, from 1 to 9. But once we place the map in its spot, it can't be moved. So we have to be sure where it's going. So let's see, Michael, what the first map is.
Okay.
Ascent.
Oh, my body's ready.
What do you like about the map? What do you like about Ascent?
I like the fact there's only two, sites, and a very big mid. So you can have your duelists in there. You can have snipers in there. Everyone can actually do battle. It's not too tight quarters, and it's not too big for the rotate. Honestly,
I love what I love about Ascent is that you have to play it smart because it's all about which team controls mid. You control mid, you control the round essentially because if the defending team controls it, the attacking team can't rotate. If the attacking team controls it, then they basically get control over the site pretty easily. I love that. There's another map that we're gonna get to that I think about is almost the same way where you have to use your head when attacking rather than just run in blind.
Right.
What is Ascent to you on this list? Where would you put it?
Well, it's not my favorite. We've had these discussions many times, but it's a super well balanced map. They should never get rid of it. There's so many good places for lineups as well for all of your throwables. That would probably be, if one being like the S tier, God tier, I would put that either 2 or 3.
Is Kat here?
I'm here.
Yay!
All right, Kat, where would you rank Ascent?
I would put it at either 4 or 3. That's one of my favorite maps.
Yeah, probably my second favorite.
I would say, in my personal opinion, Ascent's number 2.
I would agree with 2. I was afraid to put it too high because we can't move them after we pick.
The main consensus, though, I said 2 or 3. Kat said 3 or 4. What would be your 1 or 2? So we can kind of find a middle ground.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what my favorite one is just yet. I want to wait till we get to it.
Same. Okay. 3, I'm good with.
3. Ascent is number 3. Lock it in. Next map. Split. Split is weird for me. Before they took it away and did the rework, it was probably in my top 3. After it came back, it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't hit the same. But it's not the fault of the rework. I think the reason why it doesn't hit as hard as it used to is because after they took Split away, the maps that we had in rotation were all like smaller maps. Like Bind, Ascent, Fracture, even Lotus. Smaller maps, and we got used to playing on those, and those got really fun. But they bring Split back, now we have to get used to playing on a bigger map again.
Sure. I think this one also has the same balance that Ascent has. So you have the 2 sites, and you have a decent mid. But this mid is smaller, with the attraction more to the defense side.
Yes.
Because they have a much easier time going between if they control mid.
I think the problem that I have with mid and Split is that it's too wide open, that if you don't have smokes or any way to make it, blind vents, it's way too dangerous to go through.
Oh yeah,
So it
and
definitely
this...
favors defense, not attack.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a sneaky map. Like, this is a flanker's map. If you are attacking, you don't have someone flanking, you lose. It doesn't even matter what. Like, I'll flank as freaking Sky on this map because someone has to do it.
It may be at 5. I feel like it's mid.
I would say 6.
I was thinking 5 or 6 myself.
I'd say somewhere in the middle there because it's not bad. It's not as good as it used to be.
So I would say 6. 6 is fair.
I'm okay with 6.
Locking in at 6. Next, Fracture.
I love Fracture.
Okay, so Fracture is my favorite map.
It's not mine, but it's grown so much on me.
I would say Fracture's my favorite map because what I said about Ascent, how I love the attack side, how I love attacking on this map, because much like Ascent and a few other maps that we'll get to, you have to use your head. You have to use strategy because this map is definitely not a map where, the entire attacking team should just run charge in the same area. There's a reason why you can come from both ends of the site. You have to use that to your advantage. That's the gimmick of the map. That's what you have to use properly. If you don't do it properly, you're going to get destroyed by the defense. And if you don't think about that on defense, you're going to get destroyed by the attack.
Not to mention zip lines.
Yeah, the zip lines are super fun.
That's true.
Zip lines are fun.
That's why it's growing me. It's got so much utility. It really does. Especially for the fake outs. great.
Fake outs, and it's super easy to rotate whether you're on attack or defense. There's so much you can do on this map to help your team out, and I love it. And honestly, I would say any character can be good on this map.
Agreed. Agreed.
I can't think of anybody who's specifically bad on this map. I would say this one's pretty top tier. I'd say first or second. I can't think of what would be my number one, if I'm being honest, but...
For me, it didn't used to be, but I am leaning between 2 and 4. Actually, 2 and 4. And it's your favorite map, and I understand why. I am comfortable with the 2.
I'm okay with 2. I think it's up there. I can't think of a map that I think is better. I know which one's my least favorite.
Oh, we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get to that one. Next map,
Yep.
Icebox.
Ugh.
So I know Kat doesn't like Icebox, and I can understand why. This is another map, much like Ascent, where you have to control mid. However, mid isn't as important as it is on Ascent. I feel like with Icebox, mid is mostly controlled by the defense rather than the attack. Also the site where it's wide open, I think that's A site, where it's not inside, it's outside. It is so defense heavy. It is so favored to the defense. I mean, with A long, you got an op and it's over.
Yeah, this is the opposite of Split.
I definitely think this is another defense map. Like, it does not favor attack. And that's why most people go to the B site, the one that's inside. Like, almost nobody pushes over an A site because it's such a flawed site for attackers. You know, it's great for defense, like, as you said, one person on that site and you've got the site.
A site, the other site, B site, there's a lot more, like, small areas and caddy corners. So there are more angles for the attacking team to check, but it's harder for the defense to just pick you off as you run in.
They also change it so it's actually more open too. So again, it's more of this. Let me hold this. I'm watching here and holding.
It's so much easier to peek on defense than it is to on attack. I would say this is my second least favorite map.
But
personally.
Counterpoint, this is the only map that has a snowman.
And anti-snowman signs.
Damn. Y'all are bringing up some really good points. I do like the snowman with the glasses. He's real chill. I'm still gonna put him as second to last. He's not last. Do not care for Icebox. I'm never good on Icebox.
Put it at 7 or 8. Yeah. What do you think, buddy? 7 or 8?
Okay, I'll put it at a 7. Yeah, lock it in. All right, randomize. Breeze. Okay, here we go. Don't even
hit the bottom of the fucking board. Hashtag ban Breeze.
It's a battle royale map. It doesn't belong in Valorant, a tactical shooter. Doesn't belong in.
Too wide open. There's too many spots for ops. There is not nearly enough cover. Even mid is a terrible spot to attack. It is just horrible. It is such a horrible map.
It's not good on defense or attack. It's such a shitty map. Even the pros agree. It's terrible. It's the only map that has a hashtag ban it. Like, yeah. It sucks.
Breeze is the only map that we have actively dodged for the entirety of its existence.
Every time it comes up. And we tried to play it and it's a beautiful map. Like, aesthetically, it's very pretty. But like, play-wise, it fucking sucks. And there's like maybe 3 characters that are really good on this map, and it's controllers and duelists.
Even controllers, there's only one good controller.
Viper's good on that map. I think Neon's good on that map because it has so much fucking space and she can run fast.
Viper, Neon, and Chamber, and Jet. Those 4.
Bottom of the board.
I don't think we have to explain anymore.
It's just bad. Bind.
Ooh.
I
missed our girl Bind. I have. I'm glad she's back.
Honestly, Bind is one of my favorite maps. I love Bind.
Bind is a really good map. I missed it so much.
Bind is pretty top tier for me. I don't. Maybe it's my favorite. I like Bind.
Yeah, you got choke points like showers and hookah, and you got hold points for both the long, and the mid is a free for all. So that's always nice.
It feels like Bind is the only map that doesn't actually have a mid.
True, but I always call it like a catwalk because that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. It's a very, very small mid, and it's basically only used for the attacking side or for rotating. Because most people just use, like, if they're on defending side, they just go through the back ends of the map. They don't go through mid.
It's harder to flank, but it's still possible. You can fake teleports or actually use a teleport in a pinch.
If there was a drawback for Bind, I would say that there are too many angles to check when you're on attack.
Yeah, that's fair. I really like Vine. I would put Vine pretty high up there. I don't want to put it down at 4.
1 and 4. Like I said, I'd be willing to put it at 1 here, but I know another map that would also be a good contender for 1 that we haven't got to yet.
Here's the thing, and I'm not gonna say yet. My favorite map, I wouldn't put it 1 because there are some flaws with it. It's my favorite, but is it the best? No. So I would be okay with the number 1 spot for Bind.
Throw Bind up there. Boom.
Bind's the winner.
Pearl.
Pearl has a really claustrophobic mid. That mid is the winner of the game.
Much like Ascent, you have to control mid to control the round. Because you control mid, you control the rotations. I would say Pearl is an upgraded split. Much like how B, our A site on Pearl, that has that long-ass corridor. There's that. There's also the other elbow section that goes into that same site. And then the other site is like very tight neck, very bottleneck heavy, both coming from both angles, mid and long. However, mid, I feel like I'm more comfortable with Pearl on than I am with Split because there's more cover in mid on Split or on Pearl than there is on Split. So I feel more comfortable going through mid on Pearl than I do on Split.
You can sneak through it, and it actually punishes you if you don't. This is a tactical, skill-based map.
I don't care for Pearl too much. It is not one of my favorite maps. And I think that's because it's really hard to do callouts on Pearl because there's so many different spots that have different names. Like, like you can look up the map and look at all the different locations for callouts, and it gets very confusing.
And even then, those locations have sub-locations.
B-Site's pretty open, and it's pretty simple to give callouts on that one. But, like, mid and A-Site, it's so confusing to give callouts. And that makes it really difficult. And it's got a lot of, like, really weird, tight angles that make it difficult for some characters. So I think Pearl is not one of my favorite maps. I think it's a little low tier for me, personally.
I will say this. Out of all of the maps that came out after the game was already released, I think Pearl is the only map that not once since its release did I think about, fuck, it's this map, I want to dodge, you know?
But we've never thought of, oh, yay, Pearl. That's why it's mid. That's why it's
exactly. 5. I say 5. Boom. We have 2 maps left. Lotus.
Already said, and I'll tell you why. It's too small. It's the opposite of Battle Royale. It's not made for the long game. It's not made for tactical. It's hold the point or die. I don't even think it's fun to watch esports on Lotus.
It is a very tiny map. It's super quick for rotates, it's super quick to push, and it's really, really tight spots when you're on a site. So if you have your whole team on a site, it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Because like one raise ult and you're fucked.
Oh yeah.
Lotus is a map that I feel like we should be good at. Because it is one of those maps where you have to use your brain, you have to use strategy, like with Fracture or with Ascent. You have to watch the flank, like with Ascent. You have to be on your guard. It's one of those maps where you can't just charge in. And even when you're on attack, you have to have someone flanking, which is something that Mike really likes to do.
Yeah.
It's just like something where you have to use strategy. And it's a very beautiful map. I think the gameplay on it is actually pretty well done. It's just, we're bad at it.
It was made for quick play.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's a map that you have to go fast on because you can't have time for hesitation on it. Like, yeah, you can rotate to the other side of the map really quickly, but so can the other team. Once you're on site, it's very quick for you to lose it because it's so tight quarters.
I'll take it back. This is made for quick play and for full teams. So competitive play, like esports, would be good with it because they're all mic'd up. It's the only way to play. You have to have a 5-stack.
But we have usually, 3 of us and then 2 randos. It's hard to play that way because you don't have a whole team. You have 3 people that you're playing with and 2 random, like, bots, basically.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and throw Lotus at 8.
Yeah. For now. At least it's
But I will say...
Number 4.
I do think later on, maybe in 2 or 3 months from now, Lotus is going to be the exact same way that Haven was for us, which, since we only have one map left, let's go ahead and talk about it.
It is my favorite map. Again, it's flawed, but not flawed to the point where it's below a 5.
I also really like Haven. I would probably put it higher up on the list if we wouldn't have already put other stuff on there.
Fair.
Yep.
But I'm okay with where it's at.
I would say Haven is a weird map for us because it's the exact opposite of how we feel about Split. It was a map that we hated on launch, but as time has gone on, we've grown to love it. We've grown to enjoy it. I don't know if you call that Stockholm Syndrome or...
That's why it's Haven, it's home.
I'd say it's because we play different characters than when we first started, because back then, that was probably when I was either playing Sova or Jet, and I think Mike was playing Brim.
I was Brim all day, baby.
Yeah, and Penny, I don't remember who you played there at the beginning. Viper?
Yeah, I remember Viper was my first main. There was someone in between Viper and Omen, and I don't remember who it was. All right, I wonder where it's going. Ooh.
Pick a spot.
So this is our list. Number 9, Fuck Breeze. Hashtag Dodge Breeze.
Hashtag Fuck Breeze.
Number 8 is Lotus. Number 7 is Icebox.
Yep.
Number 6 is Split. Number 5 is Pearl. Number 4 is Haven. And then we got Ascent taking the bronze. Fracture is on the podium with silver. And number 1, holding up the trophy, is Bind.
Bind!
I'm actually okay with this list.
Good list.
Yeah, feels good.
I agree.